Welcome, lambs. Welcome to another episode of Love and Murder. In this Florida Man Friday, I'm going to tell you two cases that's going to keep your jaw on the ground. But then again, it's Florida Man, so you probably are used to it anyways. The first case is of a man who showed off a woman's dead body that he kept in his shed. Yes, he showed it off to his friends, family, and neighbors. Everybody you know and everybody you don't. The second case is, oh God, this one's gonna really get ready for Kai to be pissed, is of a mother who produced child essay videos of her own baby son. And you'll see why she did it. I mean, there's no excuse as to why, but you'll see why. Welcome if you are new here. Go ahead and sit down, get comfortable, and listen to this episode. And if you like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more. My name is Kai, and this is your Florida Man Friday edition of Love and Murder. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this episode and all of my episodes are sponsored by my lambs and Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. If you want to be a sponsor of Love and Murder, support it, keep us on air and everything like that. Get bonuses, Kai rants, case extras, all of the bells and whistles, then go ahead and join us over in patreon.com/Love and Murder. Now, without further ado, let's get into your Florida Man Friday. Well, just one more ado. Sorry about the previous noise in the beginning. I forgot to turn off my personal heater that's under my desk, and it does vibrate against my desk. So sorry about that. Now let's get into Florida Man Friday. In St. Petersburg, Florida, what started as a routine day in the neighborhood turned into a horrific crime scene. 40-year-old Angelo Beckford, who was just recently released from prison, ended up being charged with second-degree murder after neighbors reported that he showed them the body of a woman that he had hidden in a shed. On April 30th, 2018, police were called to 524 16th Avenue South in St. Petersburg, Florida, after multiple people called them and said that this guy named Angelo Beckford was inviting people into his house and showing them a dead woman in a storage bin. Quote, "We had people who actually come to the police department to report that this man had invited them in, shown them what looked like a woman who could be dead or unconscious in his home." One of the neighbors told police that Angelo, quote, "was showing off," which then prompted them to go straight to the police headquarters. So they learned from Kai and was like, nope, I'm not the one. I'm gonna go sing. Don't tell me crap. If you want to do a crime, which I don't say do a crime, don't come to me and expect for me to hide your secret. The SWAT team was called in due to Angelo's violent criminal history. And actually, when police got to the house, they initially thought they were dealing with just a possible kidnapping. However, when they got onto the property, they did find the body of a 29-year-old Cheyenne Snyder that had been hidden in a storage tote that appeared to have been moved from the house to the shed. St. Petersburg police spokesperson Yolanda Fernandez explains, quote, "There was a body of a dead woman in the shed behind the home." Angelo, I guess, tried to run when police arrived, but the SWAT team was there and he didn't know that, and they were able to quickly catch him. Later, he confessed to the murder, telling investigators that he shot Cheyenne after they had an argument about a mess she had made in the house. Because, the logical thing to do when somebody makes a mess in your house is to shoot them instead of just kicking them out, telling them never come back and clean up the mess yourself. That way that mess will never be there because it's only you in your own house. Now you're going to prison and you're going to have to deal with even worse mess. I've heard people throwing urine and poop and all this other stuff. So you didn't like mess? Now you're really going to have mess. Police also found drug paraphernalia, possession of crack cocaine, and evidence of aggravated assault, which happened on the premises. How do you have evidence of aggravated assault? I guess maybe blood splatter, yeah? Maybe, yeah, I guess maybe blood splatter. I don't know, unless they found pictures or video. Cheyenne was a mother of two from Ohio, and she had been living in St. Petersburg for about 10 years. Her and Angelo actually had known each other for less than a week before he murdered her, and she had actually recently struggled with drug addiction herself. So when you're struggling with drug addiction and you're trying to stop, the worst place to be is around somebody who's doing drugs or alcohol or anything like that. Now, I'm not shaming her. What I'm doing is letting y'all know, because maybe somebody will hear this and realize, oh, I shouldn't be here. And police believe that their relationship was basically tied to their mutual battle with drug addiction, which, again, not a good thing to do. You shouldn't hang around people who has the same battle that you're going through, because if they break, that might break you too. Now, the shocking thing to me is that they'd known each other for less than a week. Less than a week. Again, like I said, you don't know this person. You could have just kicked her out of your house and out of your life if she made a mess that you didn't like. Now, like I said, Angelo had just been recently released from prison. So he had just been released from prison a month before he murdered this woman. He had served 10 years for a previous armed robbery conviction and had a lengthy criminal record that dated back to 1997. Police also confirmed that Angelo had been staying at his mother's house on 16th Avenue, even though she had died a few months before this happened. So since 1997, you've been a constant source of sadness to your mother. And then she died and you just continued on that path and actually made it worse by murdering a person and then showing everybody you know and everybody you don't. One of his neighbors, Jamarius Hubbard, said, quote, "It's crazy. I don't know. But the thing about it, when he's out there mingling with everybody, he has sense, plenty of it." Major Shannon Halstead of the St. Petersburg Police, quote, "I want to emphasize that the citizens involved in this case who came forward and provided timely information to us were instrumental in bringing justice to Cheyenne and her family." Yeah, because I don't understand any friends or family or, other who somebody told them about a crime and they don't report it. They just shut their mouth. I can understand if the person literally physically said, if you tell anybody and they took out a knife or a gun and they were like, "I know where you live," and showing you your driver's license, or you have 2 kids, maybe you'll have 1. Something like that. I can understand that. But some dude is just at a bar and say, "Hey, come to my house. I'll show you a dead woman." And literally takes you to their house because you follow them because you figure they're joking. Honestly, you told me that, I'm not following you anywhere. And then you go and you see a dead woman and you're like, "Oh my God." And then you leave and never tell anybody. That I don't understand. Cheyenne's father, Scott Snyder Sr., expressed his devastation over the loss of his daughter and posted to social media, quote, "Thanks to the detective, I have talked to a great guy. This animal deserves more than a cage. We just hope and pray they upgrade these charges so the death penalty is on the table." For now, the investigation continues and Angelo faces charges of second-degree murder, possession of crack cocaine, drug paraphernalia, aggravated assault, and a violation of parole because he had only just gotten out of prison. If convicted, he could face up to 32 years to life in prison. So just like her father said, he hopes that, the death penalty is on the table. And in my opinion, this guy doesn't seem to be stopping. 1997, and this happened April 2018. Now, I wonder if he was already sentenced. I didn't find anything saying he was, but it'd be so weird that he's still sitting there waiting for trial. This happened in 2018. But you know what? It wouldn't be so weird because I have some episodes coming out for y'all soon that you're going to see how long it takes. You're just like, this happened back when I was 5. I now have grandchildren. How are they just now going to trial? Like, this stuff doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, that was the case of a man who decided to murder a woman and then show off her body thinking people would think he was cool. He's a cool kid. The next case I have for you is, I'm taking a breath right now so that this doesn't piss me off. This woman who produced child essay videos of her own son, and wait till you find out why. 21-year-old Jenna Ann Hoffmann is accused of producing child sexual abuse material at the request of a stranger she met online. On September 23rd, a, quote, tip came in, quote, from a popular social media platform showing photos and video of a woman performing sex acts with a toddler. Did you hear me? From a popular social media platform showing photos and videos of a woman performing sex acts with a toddler. I don't even know how fast I would call 911 if I ever saw that. I couldn't even tell you how fast. Investigators quickly identified the woman as Jenna Ann and found her in Brooksville, Florida, which is a small town roughly 80 miles due west of Orlando. Detectives spoke with a family member who, quote, immediately identified the child in the images as Jenna Ann's 23-month-old son. Can you imagine if the police came to you and was like, hey, you're a family member of this woman. Can you identify this child that she's in the picture essaying? And you just look at it and you know this is your cousin or something? Oh, nope, disowning. I'll be like, yeah, I know them. They are not related to me, but I definitely know them. And I will give number. I will give email address. I will give location. I will, look, I will give. And to know that's my cousin or my uncle or my aunt. Disown. I will never speak of you again. After being shown the image, the family member went and got Jenna Ann and was like, the police are here to talk to you. And she then agreed to speak with them. Jenna Ann admitted to committing the acts, telling investigators that a stranger had promised to pay her for making the video involving her child. She then said she made the videos at her home but never received any money. The emotions that are coursing through me right now. Following a search warrant for Jenna Ann's home, additional evidence was found. Jenna Ann was arrested and charged with several counts, including 1 count each of cruelty towards a child by directing or promoting sexual performance, lewd and lascivious molestation of a victim under 12 years of age, possession of sexual performance of a child with intent to promote, use of a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony, and larceny. And if it was Kai, just sprinkle a bit of crack on her to just up those charges and get her more time in prison. I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that. Jenna Ann is currently being held without bond at the Hernando County Detention Center, and her next court appearance was supposed to be October 22nd. Actually, this episode was supposed to come out last week. Remember when I did, when AI Jane did her episode, because this episode was supposed to come out last week. So she was supposed to be in court as of this recording 3 days ago. However, in searching, as usual, I haven't seen any update about her going to court. Now, this wasn't her trial. She was just supposed to be speaking to the judge, probably giving her plea, and then leading up to the trial. So it's not her trial yet. Now, a judge in Hernando County made a preemptive move, and he said if there would be a pretrial release, they issued an order to keep Jenna Ann on GPS monitoring. So she's going to be like basically not really on house arrest, but they're going to monitor her every move if they release her before her trial so that she cannot run, which I think is a smart move. I think you should do that for most people. I'm not going to say everybody, but for most people who are let out on bond or something like that. Now, I want to kind of go back and visit that this dumb you know what I want to say, did this for money. Some dude you don't even know said, hey, fuck up your child's entire life and I'll pay you for it. And she said, okay, like the dummy that she is. She made the video, sent it off to this sicko, which she's actually more sick than him. Imagine that. She's actually more sick than this guy who's getting the videos. You would think he was the sicko, which he is. But imagine you are going to mess up your child's life. You're going to touch your child. I can't even imagine it. You're going to touch your child because somebody said they were going to give you money. That's how important money is to you, you stupid bitch. You dumb. Okay, I'm on a podcast. Calm down, Kai. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Go to your happy place. It's all right. Okay. And then she didn't even get the money. All this for nothing. Not saying it would have been better if she got the money, but you know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I'm feeling a headache. I'm getting so mad. Okay, anyways, that is all that I have for you for this episode. This case was the case of Jenna Ann Hoffmann, who sexually abused her own toddler son for some money that she never even got. I hope she gets what's coming to her in prison, because you've literally completely messed up your child. My God. Oh, I can't even. So let me know your thoughts on either one of these cases in the comments below. I want to hear from you. I'm trying to keep a calm voice. Keep it calm. The leaf is floating on the water. The breeze is blowing through the field. Ooh, sigh. Okay. And speaking of your comments, let me get into the past Florida Man episode comments. So remember last week I was supposed to do a Friday, but I did a Saturday. This one was the Oxford student stabs boyfriend and avoids jail because she was, quote, too smart. Christina Bobo says, AI Jessica and AI Jensen sound so realistic that I'm questioning my reality. Then I'm like, hold up, these are what Kai made, so it's making me think that you're having a conversation with yourself. So what this one isn't actually like AI Jane. AI Jane, yes, I write it out and everything she says is literally me writing, like, you know, and say, literally me writing and saying, Kai says, and this and this and this. But AI Jessica and AI Jensen is a different program. Like, I do all the research, put everything together, put it in there, and then they generated that. And I just thought it was really interesting, and I liked how it sounded really real. And my daughter was like, don't put that out. That sounds too real. And I was like, no, this is so cool. So that's AI Jessica and AI Jensen. So I just added them to the team because, yeah, I need co-hosts. I'm the only one doing this. So sometimes I need co-hosts. But that doesn't mean AI Jane is going anywhere. AI Jane is my co-host. She's there when I need her, and AI Jessica and AI Jensen are also now backup co-hosts. I just brought them onto the team. So welcome AI Jessica and AI Jensen to the Lamb family. And I'm glad you thought it sounded so realistic. Because remember, that's what I was going for. Everybody was like, oh, AI Jane sounds so robotic. We don't like her. And I kept trying to make it sound more and more human to keep y'all comfortable. So like if anything happened like it did last week and AI Jane needs to put out an episode, y'all aren't tuning out. Like even when I would listen to past AI Janes, I would tune out. Now that the way she sounds now, I could actually listen to an episode and it sounds good. And then AI Jessica and AI Jensen, it sounds even better. So I'm glad you like it. Another part of my question about that case was, what did you think about the audacity, especially Lavinia's cajones to appeal? Like, did y'all hear that part? She freaking appealed the little sentence she got. Like, what are you okay. So Christina Bobo said, an alcoholic dopehead spared jail for a serious DV incident that involved a stabbing is free and now booed up with the son of a billionaire. If the situation was reversed, I wonder if the judge would have declared the same ruling. Violence against men is not taken seriously enough. Additionally, it's incredibly sad that around the world, the laws are written to protect some and harm others. While digging deeper into this case, I came across this article which shows that the law is disproportionate and favorites some over others. No surprise, but still. So then this article is about, and if you want to read this article, it's actually in the Facebook group. The link to the Facebook group is in the show notes below. Just go ahead and join the free After the Show Facebook group. And in it, it's talking about a woman who had no previous criminal record. Her name is Michaela Booth, and she's 27. And she ended up being sentenced to 4 years in prison for kicking a woman during a drunken fight at a nightclub 6 years ago. So basically both of them were drunk. They got in a fight. She kicked the woman and she ended up fracturing her eye socket and split her eyelid, and they put her in jail for 6 years. Whereas Lavinia was high and she stabbed somebody and they were like, oh, you're too smart to go to jail. But she also had a horrible extensive criminal background. So it's like, why is this one going to prison, but the other one isn't? And one of the quotes from the article said, quote, "What hurts me most is that probably on the same day, women who are drug addicts and need proper help are being sent to prison for minor offenses. Yet this woman, because she wants a career and is rich, can get let off." And that was a very, very powerful quote to me from the article. And again, it's like, it's not even because she wanted a career. Because if you were poor and you wanted a career, you think anybody would give a they would literally tell you, well, you should have thought about that before you kicked that woman in the face while you were drunk. That's literally what they would have told you. It's more because she was rich. That's why. And they're like, oh, you're too smart for prison. I don't want to ruin your life. You have a bright future ahead of you. Then go back and look at her criminal record and it's like DUI, stabbing people in the throat, all kind of stuff. But you let that person off. I remember a woman went to jail because she lived like in a bad neighborhood and she wanted her children to have better than she did. So she used somebody like one of her relatives' address or a friend's address so that her child can go to a better school. And the school found out and called the police, which again, that was a shitty move on the school's part. But anyways, police came, arrested her and put her in jail just for wanting better for her son. But this bitch can stab people, damn near kill people while she's drunk driving. And, we don't want to ruin your life. So, yeah, it's complete, utter bullshit. And then Christina pointed this out, which I didn't even think about it. She says, but wait, there's more. This unhinged, privileged psycho will be a medical professional. Can you imagine if that turns out to be your doctor? I can't even imagine that. And honestly, I didn't even think about that until Christina pointed it out. And all the cases that I mentioned, as usual, the links are in the show notes below. So if you missed that episode, you can go ahead and listen to it. If you want to read that article that Christina provided, then go ahead and join the Facebook After the Pod group. It is a free and easy way to connect with your fellow lambs. Another way you can connect, and if you want to be a sponsor of Love and Murder to help keep us on the air, is by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. We do have different tiers which offers different benefits. The lowest is a $3 a month donation. You do get case extras, you get bonuses, you get a community, and so much more. Patreon.com/Love and Murder. If you just want to do a one-off donation to Love and Murder, you can actually just buy me an apple juice. Most people say buy me a coffee, but I don't drink coffee. So buy me an apple juice. The link to that is in the show notes below as well. And I want to hear from you, so go ahead and leave your comment on these cases below, and it will be read on air. So, as I said before, that is all I have for you for this Florida Man Friday. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.